Welcome, everyone. I know you want to speak English fluently, confidently, and without hesitation. And let me tell you an important truth. You can do it. English is not as hard as you think. The real challenge is your approach. If you practice the right way, learning English becomes easy and fun. Some of you might feel frustrated. Maybe you've been studying for years but still struggle to speak. Maybe you think, English is so hard. I can't remember words. I don't understand grammar. But let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried learning French, German, Arabic, or Chinese? Trust me, once you do, you'll realize that English is actually one of the easiest languages in the world. Why? Because English has simple grammar, no gendered nouns like Spanish or French, and no complicated characters like Chinese or Japanese. And the best part? English is everywhere. And here's why learning English is one of the best decisions of your life. More job opportunities. Companies prefer people who speak English. Higher salary. In many countries, English speakers earn more. Confidence in traveling. You can go anywhere and communicate easily. Making new friends. Connect with people from all over the world. Starting a business. The global market runs on English. Enjoying entertainment. Watch movies, read books, and listen to music without subtitles. English is not just a language. It's a life-changing skill. And today, I'm going to give you 20 powerful tips that will actually help you speak English fluently. Every single tip is important, practical, and easy to follow. Before we start, subscribe to this channel because I share valuable English learning content that you don't want to miss. And if you have any questions or want me to cover a specific topic, comment below. I read all your comments. Now let's start with the first tip. Tip 1. The shadowing technique. One of the most powerful and effective ways to improve your speaking skills, pronunciation, and confidence is the shadowing technique. What is shadowing? It's when you listen to native English speakers and immediately repeat what they say at the same time, just like a shadow follows a person. How does it work? Find an English audio or video. It could be a podcast, an audiobook, a YouTube video, or a movie scene. Wear headphones and listen carefully. Repeat everything immediately after the speaker. Try to copy their pronunciation, tone, and speed as closely as possible. Why is this technique so powerful? It improves pronunciation naturally. It trains your brain to think in English. It builds confidence because you're speaking real English. It helps you sound more like a native speaker. Let's take an example. Imagine you're watching a movie and the actor says, "I don't know what to say, but I feel so happy today." Instead of just listening, you repeat it immediately in the same way. "I don't know what to say, but I feel so happy today." If the actor speaks fast, try to match their speed. If they sound excited, copy their emotions. Practice this for 10 to 15 minutes daily, and I promise, your speaking skills will improve faster than you ever imagined. Tip 2. What to do when you forget words. Imagine you're having a conversation, and suddenly, you forget a word. You feel stuck, nervous, and embarrassed. What should you do? Don't panic. Instead, use a technique called descriptive speaking. Instead of stopping, describe the word using simple English. For example, you forget the word refrigerator. Say, "the thing that keeps food cold." You forget the word umbrella. Say, "the thing that protects you from rain." See? You don't need to stop the conversation. Just use easy words to describe what you mean. And here's another trick. If you forget a word, ask a question instead. You forget the word microwave. Instead of staying silent, say, "What's that thing called? The machine that heats food quickly?" Most of the time, the other person will say, "Oh, you mean a microwave," and you'll learn the word naturally. Speak without fear. Don't wait for perfection. Just start talking. Imitate native speakers. Copy their phrases and pronunciation. Let's say you hear someone say, I have never been to Paris. Instead of studying complex grammar rules, just repeat it and use it in your daily life. For example, say, I have never been to Japan. I have never eaten sushi. When you learn like a baby, you speak naturally without fear. Tip 3. How to express yourself confidently in English. Many learners know English but struggle to express their thoughts clearly. Why? Because they lack confidence and don't know how to structure their ideas. Here's how to fix that. Start with simple sentences. Instead of, the weather is extremely unpredictable today. Say, the weather changes a lot today. Use I think and I feel to share opinions. I think this movie is great. I feel this book is interesting. Practice storytelling. Take a simple event and explain it in English. For example, yesterday I went to a cafe. I ordered coffee. It was delicious. Slowly add details. Yesterday I went to my favorite cafe. I ordered a cappuccino with extra foam. It was the best coffee I've had this week. The more you practice expressing your thoughts, the more confident you'll become. Tip 4. Learn English like a baby. The natural way. Think about how babies learn their first language. Do they study grammar books? No. They listen, repeat, and copy without fear. If you want to learn English faster, follow the baby method. Listen to English every day. Movies, audiobooks, podcasts, and songs. Speak without fear. Don't wait for perfection. Just start talking. Imitate native speakers. Copy their phrases and pronunciation. Let's say you hear someone say, I have never been to Paris. Instead of studying complex grammar rules, just repeat it and use it in your daily life. For example, say, I have never been to Japan. I have never eaten sushi. When you learn like a baby, you speak naturally without fear. Tip 5. How to start a conversation with anyone in English. Speaking English isn't just about grammar, it's about communication. Use these simple conversation starters. Talk about the weather. It's so hot today. Wow, I love this cool weather. Ask about daily life. How was your day? What did you do this weekend? 3. Give compliments. I love your shoes. That's a nice watch. When you start small talk, you feel less nervous, and the conversation flows naturally. Tip 6. Surround yourself with English. Every single day. The biggest mistake English learners make is treating English like a school subject instead of a language that needs to be a part of their daily life. If you study for 1 hour and then switch back to your native language for the rest of the day, your progress will be very slow. But if you surround yourself with English everywhere, you will learn naturally and quickly. Think about how a child learns their first language. They don't study grammar books or take language tests. They hear their parents speaking all the time. They watch TV in that language, and they live in the language. That's exactly what you need to do with English. Start by changing the language on your phone to English. This may seem like a small step, but it forces you to interact with English every time you use your phone. Next, listen to English music, watch English movies, and read English subtitles whenever possible. Even if you don't understand everything, your brain will start recognizing words, phrases, and pronunciation patterns. If you love scrolling on social media, follow English-speaking content creators, watch their videos, and read their captions. The goal is to make English a normal part of your daily routine. When English is everywhere around you, you won't feel like you're studying. Instead, you'll be learning naturally, just like a native speaker. Tip 7. Talk to yourself in English. Your best practice partner is you. Many English learners are shy about speaking because they don't have anyone to practice with. But here's the truth. You don't need a speaking partner to improve your English. You can practice by talking to yourself. It may feel strange at first, but it's one of the most effective ways to become fluent. Think about it. When you were a child learning your first language, You would often talk to yourself while playing with toys or imagining situations. This self-conversation helped you develop your speaking skills without needing another person. You can do the same with English. When you're getting ready in the morning, describe what you're doing in English. Now I'm brushing my teeth. I have a meeting today, so I need to wear something nice. What should I wear? Maybe the blue shirt. The more you talk to yourself, the more comfortable you'll feel expressing your thoughts in English. You can even have pretend conversations with yourself. For example, imagine you're ordering coffee at a cafe. Practice saying, "Hi, I'd like a cappuccino, please. Can you make it extra hot?" By doing this regularly, you train your brain to think in English, and when you actually have to speak with someone, the words will come naturally because you've already practiced them before. Tip 8. Don't study grammar too much. Speak first, fix later. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to speak English fluently is because they are too focused on grammar. Of course, grammar is important, but if you spend all your time worrying about rules, you will never feel confident speaking. Many learners hesitate to speak because they're afraid of making mistakes. But guess what? Even native speakers make grammar mistakes all the time. The difference is that they keep talking instead of stopping to correct themselves. Tip 9. The power of storytelling. Make English memorable. One of the best ways to remember new words and phrases is through storytelling. Our brains are wired to remember stories much better than lists of words. Instead of memorizing vocabulary from a book, create a short story using the new words you've learned. This makes the words meaningful and easier to recall. For example, imagine you've just learned 5 new words: adventure, mystery, discover, ancient, and treasure. Instead of repeating these words over and over, make a story. One day, I went on an adventure to a small island. There was a big mystery because nobody had ever visited that place before. As I walked through the jungle, I discovered an ancient temple. Inside, I found a hidden treasure chest filled with gold. By putting words in a story, you connect them with emotions and images, making them much easier to remember. Try this technique with every new set of words you learn, and you'll never forget them. Tip 10. Use your phone as an English learning machine. Your phone can either waste your time or make you fluent in English. The choice is yours. Instead of using your phone just for social media, turn it into your personal English learning machine. Start by downloading English audiobooks and podcasts. Whenever you have free time, while commuting, cooking, or exercising, listen to English. This will train your ears to understand spoken English naturally. Next, make sure your social media feed is filled with English content. Follow English pages, watch short videos, and read English captions. This way, every time you open Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, you are learning English passively. You can also use voice notes to practice speaking. Record yourself talking about your day, then listen to it and see where you can improve. The key is to use your phone smartly so that every time you use it, you're getting closer to fluency. Tip 11. Learn chunks of English instead of individual words. A big mistake English learners make is learning words one by one. Instead of memorizing single words, learn phrases and expressions as a whole. This is how native speakers communicate. For example, instead of learning the word appointment, learn the whole phrase, "I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow." Instead of memorizing interested, learn, "I'm interested in learning English." When you learn English in chunks, it's much easier to speak naturally because you already know how words fit together. Tip 12. Practice speaking with AI assistants. If you don't have someone to practice English with, use AI voice assistants like Google Assistant or Siri. Ask questions, respond in English, and have a mini conversation. For example, say, "Hey Google, what's the weather like today?" Then try to respond in English. "Oh, it's sunny." That's great. I love warm weather. These small interactions will train your brain to think in English. Tip 13. Slow down. Speaking fast doesn't mean fluency. Many learners think they need to speak fast to sound fluent, but this is a mistake. Speaking quickly doesn't mean you're good at English. In fact, most fluent speakers talk slowly and clearly. Instead of rushing, focus on pronouncing words correctly and forming clear sentences. Speaking slowly also gives you time to think in English instead of translating in your head. Tip 14. Learn through movies and TV shows. Watching movies and TV shows is one of the most fun ways to improve your English. But don't just watch passively. Watch actively. Choose a scene, listen carefully, and repeat the dialogue. Try to copy the pronunciation and rhythm. If you don't understand something, turn on subtitles, but always try to listen first before reading. Tip 15. Turn mistakes into learning opportunities. Making mistakes is normal when learning English. Instead of feeling embarrassed, learn from them. Every time you make a mistake, think, "Great! I just learned something new." The more mistakes you make, the faster you will improve. Tip 16. Stop translating in your head. Think in English naturally. One of the biggest reasons people struggle to speak English fluently is that they translate every sentence from their native language into English before speaking. This makes them slow, unsure, and nervous in conversations. If you want to speak English fluently, you must stop translating and start thinking directly in English. But how do you do that? First, surround yourself with English as much as possible. Label everyday objects in your home with their English names. When you see a table, don't think of the word in your language. Just think table. If you're walking down the street, describe what you see in your head in English. The sky is blue. A man is walking his dog. There's a red car parked by the store. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes. Another great method is self-talk. Stand in front of a mirror and speak to yourself about your day. Today I woke up early. I made breakfast. Then I read a book. At first you might struggle, but over time, words will come automatically, and you'll stop needing to translate. Train your brain to do the same, and soon, speaking English will feel effortless. Tip 17. Improve your listening skills. First, listen more, speak better. Many people think that speaking is the most important skill in learning English. But in reality, listening is just as important, if not more. If you want to speak English fluently, you need to develop strong listening skills first. The more you listen, the more natural English will sound to you, and the easier it will be to speak. To improve your listening, start by exposing yourself to English every single day. But here's the key. Listen to things that interest you. If you love movies, watch English films with subtitles first, then without subtitles. If you enjoy cooking, watch cooking shows in English. If you love music, listen to English songs and try to understand the lyrics. The more engaged you are, the more you'll learn. Another great technique is to listen actively. This means not just hearing words, but focusing on how they're spoken. Pay attention to pronunciation, intonation, and sentence structure. Try watching a short video, then pausing and repeating what you hear. If you don't understand something, replay it multiple times. One of the best exercises is dictation. Choose a short audio clip, listen carefully, and try to write down what you hear. Then check your notes against the original text. This will train your ears to catch details in English conversations. And if you're struggling to understand native speakers, don't worry. It's completely normal at first. The secret is consistency. If you listen to English every day, even for 15 to 20 minutes, your brain will naturally start recognizing words and phrases. Over time, your speaking will improve automatically because your mind will already be familiar with how English sounds. Tip 18. Think in English. Stop translating in your head. One of the biggest obstacles to fluency is constantly translating from your native language to English. This slows you down and makes speaking feel difficult. Instead, you need to train your brain to think directly in English. Imagine you're walking in a park and see a beautiful sunset. Instead of thinking, oh, this sunset is so beautiful in your native language, and then trying to translate it into English, just say it in English instantly. The more you do this, the faster your brain will get used to forming thoughts in English. To start thinking in English, practice describing things around you in simple sentences. If you're at home, think, I'm sitting on the couch. The TV is on. I feel hungry. If you're shopping, think, this dress looks nice. I need some fresh vegetables. Should I buy apples or bananas? Another technique is the inner monologue method. Throughout the day, have a silent conversation with yourself in English. If you're nervous before a meeting, think, okay, I need to stay calm. I should start by introducing myself. Then I'll explain my idea. The more you train your brain to think in English, the less you will depend on translation. Over time, you will notice that words come to you faster, and speaking English will feel much more natural. Tip 19. Expand your sentences. Don't speak in short phrases. Many English learners speak in very short and simple sentences because they are afraid of making mistakes. While it's okay to start with basic sentences, you need to expand them to sound more natural and fluent. For example, if someone asks, "How was your day?" a basic response would be, "Good." But to sound more fluent, say, "It was really good. I went to the park in the morning, then had lunch with my friend. We talked about our weekend plans." Let's take another example. Instead of saying, "I like coffee," you can say, "I love coffee, especially in the morning. I usually drink it with a little milk and no sugar because I enjoy the strong taste." To practice this, take any short sentence and try to add at least 2 more details. If you say, "I watched a movie," expand it like this. "I watched a really exciting movie last night. It was about a detective solving a mystery, and the ending was completely unexpected." Another great way to practice is by answering questions in a full sentence. If someone asks, "Where do you live?" don't just say, "I live in India." Instead say, "I live in India in a city called Mumbai. It's a very busy place with lots of people, amazing street food, and beautiful beaches." The more details you add to your sentences, the more confident and fluent you will sound. Just remember, you don't have to rush. Take your time to express your thoughts fully. Tip 20. Learn to speak in full conversations, not just single sentences. Many English learners can say individual sentences, but when it comes to having a full conversation, they struggle. This happens because they only practice words and short phrases instead of real conversations. The best way to fix this is to practice connecting sentences together to make a full conversation. For example, imagine someone asks you, "What do you do?" Instead of just saying, "I am a student," try to continue the conversation naturally. You can say, "I am a student. I study business at university. I really enjoy learning about marketing, and in the future, I want to start my own company." Now, if the person replies, "That sounds interesting. What kind of business do you want to start?" you should be able to continue. "I want to start an online clothing store. I love fashion, and I think it would be exciting to design and sell clothes." See how the conversation keeps going? If you only say one sentence and stop, the conversation feels awkward. But if you add more details and ask questions back, the conversation will flow naturally. A great way to practice is by imagining different situations and practicing full conversations. For example, think about ordering food at a restaurant. Instead of just saying, "I want a pizza," imagine the full conversation. Waiter: "Hello. What would you like to order?" You: "Hi, I'd like a large cheese pizza, please." Waiter: "Would you like any drinks?" You: "Yes, I'll have an orange juice." Waiter: "Great choice. Anything else?" You: "No, that's all for now. Thank you." By practicing full conversations like this, you'll be able to speak more smoothly and naturally in real life. Start small, then slowly build up longer conversations. The key is to connect your ideas instead of stopping after one sentence. Tip 21. Use hand gestures and body language while speaking. Did you know that using your hands and body language while speaking can help you feel more confident and speak more fluently? When we use gestures, we activate different parts of our brain that make speaking easier and more natural. Native speakers do this all the time without thinking about it. For example, if you're explaining directions, use your hands to show left and right. If you're describing a big problem, spread your arms wide to show its size. If you're talking about time, point to an imaginary clock on your wrist. This makes your speech more engaging, and it also helps you remember words more easily. Try practicing in front of a mirror or recording yourself speaking while using hand gestures. You'll notice that your words flow more smoothly, and you'll feel more relaxed. This technique is especially helpful if you feel nervous when speaking English. When you move your hands naturally, your body feels more comfortable and your mind focuses less on fear and more on the conversation. If you've made it this far, I want to tell you something important. You are already on the path to fluency. The fact that you are here, listening, learning, and improving means you have the dedication to succeed. And that is the most important thing. Learning English is not about being perfect. It's not about memorizing thousands of words or understanding every grammar rule instantly. It's about progress. It's about speaking a little better today than you did yesterday. It's about making mistakes, learning from them, and moving forward. Maybe today you only know a few words. Maybe your sentences are short and simple. Maybe you feel nervous when you speak. That's okay, because with daily practice, with patience, and with confidence, you will get better. Imagine yourself a few months from now speaking English fluently, expressing your thoughts easily, making new friends, traveling, or even getting your dream job. It will happen, but only if you don't give up. You don't need to be the best in one day. You just need to be better than yesterday. So take a deep breath and say this out loud. I can speak English. I am improving every day. I will not give up. Now keep going. Keep practicing. Keep believing in yourself. And one day, you will look back and realize that you have become the fluent English speaker you always wanted to be. I believe in you. Now it's your turn to believe in yourself.